guys, so it's that time of the year again for my yearly bullet journal video. I can't believe it's been 3 years since my first one, and if you haven't seen those two, I'll link it over here. But this year it's a little bit different. The last 2 years I kept it really simple, but this year I kind of wanted to add more stuff. As usual, I'll start off by showing you guys my planning process. So I planned in my 2017 bullet journal, and I know it's quite ugly. I don't know why I decided to put these random stickers on it. I really shouldn't have. And this book used to be a beige color, and now it's more like a green. I don't know. Anyways, it's right here actually. So this was how I planned my 2017 bullet journal. I started off with some of the bigger lettering. I just wanted to try out new lettering methods. In my previous journals, I basically just did capitals and blocky kind of letters. I didn't really do any kind of fancy lettering, but I wanted to find a way I could add a bit of oomph. So line kind of lettering is what I was looking for, and I found a lot of good inspiration, which also inspired me to kind of change up my journal every single month. So I might be doing monthly updates if it is something that I think is interesting enough. But yeah, so here are some options. I'll also link them or show them on the screen. I'll probably link them in a blog if I do a blog. I don't know. Are you guys interested in a blog? I was thinking about doing a blog where I show all the inspiration and also exactly my measurements for my bullet journal, like how much space I make the headings and everything. Anyways, so these are some of the lettering methods that I was trying, and I was also trying how I wanted to do the monthly dates, and then testing out how I wanted to do the days in my daily and how I wanted to lay it out. So these were kind of like my options if I wanted to kind of go like either side, every other one, not perfectly lined up, and how I wanted to track my habits. And this year I'm also adding something else, and then also one of my categories, not categories, wow, I keep saying wait, is it categories? It is categories, okay. If anyone knows, watched my first one, you would know why I'm kind of paranoid about that. So I wrote down everything that I would have in the bullet journal. So I would have the key, 2019, the future log. So these are like pages beside each other. And this was an idea that I was playing with. I saw in some other people's bullet journal that they had these ripped pages in the middle of their daily section so that they could expand the space but still be part of like the same week. I thought it was a good idea. Then I realized I don't really need that extra space. Like I can have the days here, and then you would have this extra empty section, extra section, another extra section on this side. And I just don't need that much space. So I decided not to go with it, but I just ripped it out to try it out. But anyway, so I have all of my sections that I wanted to do initially laid out here, and then I would go one by one and plan it out. So number one, key, which you don't need if you have this bullet journal edition of the notebook, which I'm not going to try to pronounce. You know what I'm trying to say. It already has a key built in. And then the 2019, how I wanted to letter it, I didn't go with any of those things that I put here. I ended up going with one of the lettering styles that I did before. Number 3, my goals, and I wrote down like the exact measurements, like 7 spaces before I begin the heading, and then how many spaces in between, how many spaces to leave, and basically just everything is here. I'm thinking about maybe putting like this kind of detail into the blog. Yeah, so I think that's basically, and then I was planning the dailies, how they would look the way I was thinking of doing it, and more lettering practice. So this is kind of how I ended up going with the 2019, and you can see that I put the measurements so it's faster for me when I start, and just practicing some of the headings. And yeah, so I do this, like I try to number it so I know how to position it in the middle of the page. I'm not like I can't visually look at the page and like start over here and know that by the end I'm going to be the same distance. I don't know if that's just me, but it's quite difficult for me. Yeah, that's basically it. So now I'll show you my actual 2019 bullet journal. Ta-da! Here it is. Nice bullet journal in the front. So let's open it. Oh. So as you can see, there's already a key here. so you don't need to make one. That's good. And index, as usual, if you see my last bullet journal video, I decided not to use an index because it's just not something I like to do. It's to go back and like look at the number. I always just end up flipping through anyways, so I don't really keep up the, oh, there's a hair. I don't really keep up the index, but it's all personal preference. And then they have 4 pages for the future log, so I just started on the second one that began my only 1-page future log, because I think maybe other people do bigger future logs, but I just do a little tiny section. So I just kept the future log simple, and I'm gonna write important dates here, like birthdays or big events that are coming up or holidays. Yeah, so that's pretty simple. The next page, I have my 20 before 2020. It's the goals, 20 goals that I want to accomplish before 2020, obviously. And I did this in my last journal as well. But yeah, I realized looking back at my 2019 bullet journal, I didn't accomplish half the things I wanted to do. So I didn't have any actionable plan to do what I wanted to do. So this is one of the ways for me to kind of like really think about what I want and what I want to accomplish this year. It's basically writing out your goals for 5 years, 4 months, 3 weeks, 2 days, 1 hour. And I actually got the idea from the bullet journal method book, which is part of the giveaway that I'm going to talk about at the end. Here I also have my ideal day kind of page where I put from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. and then 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. twice. So I have more like 2 different types of days. These are just for my working days. Weekends are kind of all over the place, but like one day is the days I go to yoga after work and the days that I don't. I kind of put down what I could do in that time, and it really makes me look at it and realize how little time I have and all the things, like if I wanted to work out, do all my extra like freelance work that I do on the side, and go to work for 8 hours a day and commute 3 hours, like I really don't have that much time left, so I really need to prioritize and like decide what's important to me. And also like look at if it's even possible to like do everything I want to do. So I have the hours there, and then I just kind of put the activity that I'm doing between those times on the page, and if there's like overlapping, I would just connect them, and it just kind of looks nice. And I'm like such a planner. I love doing these kind of little planning things, so kind of helpful, but mainly just for fun. And also I'm gonna write here my routines, my morning, evening, and exercise routines that I want to do, like just basic stuff. Another kind of thing for fun. And then also here I'm going to have my grocery list and meal plans. So I'm not on keto right now, but I'm planning to go back onto keto next week. And there's a very limited amount of things you can eat on keto. So I like to keep like a grocery list handy so I can look at the list when I'm shopping or at a recipe, and I can see like if certain items are allowed, or like even if it's not allowed, do I want to go out and buy it if I don't already have it, kind of thing. I'm also going to have a meal plan. So I used to eat like basically the same thing every single day, or like basically every single day when I first started the diet, but it just became too much of the same thing. So I kind of want to still make a meal plan and meal prep ahead of time, but maybe I make 4 different dishes instead of like just 2 main dishes or something, and then I can switch it up between the days, so I can plan it, like it can be lunch here but like dinner here, etc, etc. So I'm gonna map that out too very soon. And then I also have here a list of books I want to read and a wish list, and I spelled wish list wrong here. Someone's gonna point that out. Anyways, I had this in my previous journals too, but I had it on 2 pages, and I just realized I don't need that much space for these 2 things. I don't have that much things I want, neither do I have the time to read that many books. So I made the space smaller. Yeah, basically that's it. And then here I have my last category before my monthlies, and that's a mental inventory kind of chart. So this is just reflection. It's not really something I'll probably be going back to regularly. It's just for the day. Like, it's just for right now when I want to organize my thoughts. So you separate things into what you're working on, what you should be working on, and what you want to be working on. And it's kind of like a reflection of what you want to do, what you're maybe spending too much time on, what you're not spending enough time on, and like questioning if you want to be doing those things. So this is also a good reflection to do at the end of the year, I think. And then next is my monthly page. So I have this January written here, and then I just have the month dates laid out here. I actually wasn't gonna do this. I was gonna put this on this page and just leave it empty, but I was just like, in the moment I just wrote on this page, so I added it. I don't know, up to you guys if you want to also have a little calendar at the beginning. Yeah, I'll include all the lettering samples that I copied in my blog. Hopefully that's going up. Okay, so here's my daily, and this is kind of like the most important thing. I use this every single day. I use my other daily setup every single day for all of last year. I changed it up this year. It's a little more complicated than normal. I normally just have the dates, and last year I added the habit tracker. This year I added a little bit more. So I have here the month that we're in, and then week 1 of 5. So if this was the first week of January. And then I have my habit tracker. I know some people like to make it a whole different category in another page, but for me that's too much to flip to that page every single day and find it. I'd rather just have it on that week. So I have the 4 things I'm thinking that I'm going to track in January. You can change days up. I have meditate. I want to meditate daily. I want to journal daily, and then also stretch and floss. And then after here, this is something new I added, which was an exercise chart. I want to write the kind of exercises I do daily, so I can see what I'm missing, if I'm not working out a certain muscle, or if I'm not doing enough cardio, or if I'm not just not working out at all, you know? Be like, Monica, go work out. You have nothing to write in that box. Yeah. And then now I have my dailies here. So I made them a lot smaller. They used to be kind of like the full width of the page. Now they're kind of only half the page. From last year, I feel like I'll just show you some like an example page. Like this is sort of a bad page, but like this is just notes. But I normally would only, like every day I can only accomplish like half of the page of things. There's no point in leaving so much space for that whole day unless I'm taking notes, which is also why I just left this section blank. I like having space to just write random things, or like, oh, like, you know, I don't even know, like if I need to copy down a number or something, right? That's not a task. And then at the side, this is something new as well. So these are the 3 main projects that I work on all the time, in the long term. And I just have tasks that I have to do for them every week that I'm not sure when I will have time to accomplish them, or I don't know when I'll have time to do them. So I just want to list the tasks out here, and then when I have time, or when I know I'm gonna have time, I add it into the dailies to be completed. But I just feel like sometimes I forget things. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm not sure if I have time to do this today, so I'm not gonna write it down yet. Or like I keep migrating a task throughout the whole week and I still haven't done it, and then I kind of just forget about it. So this is like a good way to see if I'm contributing to all the big projects that I'm working on, and making sure I don't forget anything, or do too much of one thing and that I forget the other thing. But yeah, that's basically it. You can just see I have the same setup again and again for all of January. In February, I might switch it up depending on how well this goes. This was a little more time consuming than I'm used to set up. If you want to win one of these journals, so if you want to win this set, which is this journal and the new bullet journal method book, which I think is a great book for beginners if you're just starting out with bullet journaling. There's so much inspiration, and it tells you exactly why the journal is set up the way it is. Not that you have to follow all the methods, but it's good inspiration. Yeah, to win, all you have to do is be subscribed to my channel, like this video, and just leave a comment down below. I'm also going to be putting out an Instagram post related to this video. Just fine, it should be out now on my Instagram page, so if you want an additional entry, go comment on that photo as well. And I'll draw a random person by the end of the week, I think, because I'm assuming a lot of you will want this book before the New Year's, and yeah, to plan out your 2019 bullet journal. But yeah, I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you guys want to see anything else. I really don't know what to film. Like, a lot of people ask me to film more bullet journal videos, but I just don't know what to do. Like, I don't change it up that often. Maybe this year I might, because I'm kind of inspired by all the different lettering methods and different formats that I've seen. But we'll see. Oh, and if anyone's wondering, I'm pretty sure someone's gonna ask me. So the pen I'm using. So this is like a Muji pencil case that I carry around. I just have 3 of these sticky note things because when I read books, I like to sticky note. I have this pen that's random, and I think from maybe China. I don't know, but I don't really use this as kind of a backup pen. And then this Muji pen is what I still use to this day. I've been using it since my first bullet journal. It's the 0.7 millimeter Muji pen. And then I also have this Muji ruler, which I use. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you next time.